Alright, sorry about breaking the video up so much. I do not live in an interruption-free household. I have 2 children, and my wife's painting right now, so there's a lot going on. After this, there's the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller. Really cool. Every single one is an original, because the blood splatter is different on every single one of those controllers. And it's kind of motion controlled, but it's really just a tilt sensor. You raise the controller up to raise the gun up. It's next to impossible to use. I've tried to use it a couple times, and I don't really care for Resident Evil 4 all that much. I tend to prefer the classic Resident Evils when I'm playing them. You really cannot see down here, but there's about 120, 130 PS2 games in there. I'm a huge fan of every Sony console. Just limitless classics. There's so many games go undiscovered on Sony consoles, and I could talk forever about just the PS2 collection I have. Onimusha series is so good. Any series with Jean Reno in it, instant classic. And there's my GameCube games. A lot of stuff's in here is really dusty because I haven't had a chance to clean it, but big fan of the GameCube. This is my favorite Resident Evil game ever. This is just perfect in every way. Oh, no, not anymore, didn't. Yeah, it's just the defensive weapons. I wish they would have brought those back. They put them in the remake, and I thought that was the coolest thing, being able to like stuff a grenade in a zombie's mouth as it goes to bite you, or stab him in the head. Or I thought that was awesome, but apparently Capcom did not. Baton Kaitos, or however the hell you say it, but is definitely the best looking. Oh, well, I got that angry. Definitely the best looking game on the GameCube. It's really reminiscent of Legend of Dragoon in graphical style and music and sound and everything, but it's got a really original card-based battle system. And I'm a huge fan of games that use cards. I don't know why. Like Metal Gear Acid are probably my favorite Metal Gear games, especially Metal Gear Acid 2. As you can see, as we're getting into the PSP games. Another system where a lot of games went undiscovered because everybody just thought that it was full of crappy ports from the PS2. Which it was, but I mean, you had games like Rengoku. Really, really cool third-person beat-em-up type thing. I don't know, almost like a roguelike. Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles. I'm a huge Castlevania fan, so that was awesome to get Rondo of Blood finally. The City of Final Fantasy, probably the best game on the system, and in my opinion, the best Final Fantasy ever made with the Square Enix name on it. Because I think as soon as Square Enix came to be, Final Fantasy went to shit. There hasn't been a good one since. Good main series Final Fantasy since. And the best thing about this is it doesn't include 12. It does include a couple characters from 11. And it does have one guy from 12. But it's mostly the characters from the first 10, which, in my opinion, every one of them is good. Yes, that includes 8. Xbox, another system overshadowed by the crap that got popular on it, like Halo. And yet there was games like Call of Cthulhu, Chronicles of Riddick, Jade Empire, Otogi, Panzer Dragoon Orta. There's just a lot of solid Xbox exclusives that never get any press because everybody just knows it as the system that made Halo. Toe Jam and Earl 3, which, if you've watched Rue's 16-Bit Gems, he talks about how if they would have remade Toe Jam and Earl 2 to be just like the first one, it would have been bland and terrible. That's what this one is. They remade it to be just like the first one, and it's bland and terrible. So he hit the nail on the head on that one. Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. Down here amidst this pile of crap, which some of you are probably going to cringe to see how I have my games stored, but like I said, I just don't have the room. But back there I have a whole bunch of boxed 2600 games, including a clean box Atari or ET, which another weird game that from my childhood, because my dad played it through ET for the Atari 2600. He loved it. He doesn't, when I try to tell him that it's regarded as one of the worst games ever made, he doesn't understand it. He loves that game. He used to play it all the time. So, I don't know. My dad is not a normal human being, but yeah. That is the game collection. The game room. That I hope one day to actually be a room. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.